Let's review.
On learning deficiencies, what is learning disability in reading? A. Dyslexia. B. Dysgraphia. C. Dyscalculia. D. Dyspepsia. Before we answer this, let's first understand the concept of learning disability. Learning disabilities or learning disorders are terms used for a wide variety of learning problems. A learning disability is not a problem with intelligence or motivation, and children with learning disabilities are not lazy or dumb. In fact, most are just as smart as everyone else. Their brains are simply wired differently, and this difference affects how they receive and process information. Children and adults with learning disabilities see, hear, and understand things differently. This can lead to trouble with learning new information and skills, and putting them to use. The most common types of learning disabilities involve problems with reading, writing, math, reasoning, listening, and speaking. We will discuss the common types of learning disabilities. Let's start with dyslexia. Dyslexia is a learning disability that impairs reading ability. Signs of reading difficulty include problems with letter and word recognition, understanding words and ideas, reading speed and fluency, and general vocabulary skills. Next is dysgraphia. Dysgraphia impacts handwriting and fine motor skills. Learning disabilities in writing can involve the physical act of writing or the mental activity of comprehending information. Writing disability includes problems with neatness and consistency of writing, accurately copying letters and words, spelling consistency, and writing organization and coherence. Dyscalculia. Dyscalculia makes math difficult. A child with a math-based learning disorder may struggle with memorization and organization of numbers, operation signs, and number facts like 3 + 3 = 6 or 3 × 3 = 9. Children with math learning disorders might also have trouble with counting principles, such as counting by twos or counting by fives, or have difficulty telling time. Dyspraxia. Dyspraxia. Children with dyspraxia are often overly clumsy, and they are more likely than others to have ADHD. Dyspraxia is a neurological condition that affects a child's ability to perform motor tasks. Signs that your child might have a motor coordination disability include problems with physical abilities that require hand-eye coordination, like holding a pencil or buttoning a shirt. Dysphagia. Aphasia is a difficulty with language. Language and communication learning disabilities involve the ability to understand or produce spoken language. Signs of a language-based learning disorder involve problems with verbal language skills, such as the ability to retell a story, the fluency of speech, and the ability to understand the meaning of words, directions, and the like. Auditory and visual processing problems. The eyes and the ears are the primary means of delivering information to the brain, a process sometimes called input. If either the eyes or the ears aren't working properly, learning can suffer. Auditory processing disorder may refer to the ability to hear well as auditory processing skills or receptive language. The ability to hear things correctly greatly impacts the ability to read, write, and spell. An inability to distinguish subtle differences in sound make it difficult to sound out words and understand the basic concepts of reading and writing. Professionals may refer to the work of the eyes as visual processing. Visual perception can affect motor skills, reading comprehension, and math. Visual processing disorder. Our problems in visual perception include missing subtle differences in shapes, reversing letters or numbers, skipping words, skipping lines, misperceiving depth or distance, or having problems with eye-hand coordination. Difficulty in school doesn't always stem from a learning disability. Anxiety, depression, stressful events, emotional trauma, and other conditions affecting concentration make learning more of a challenge. In addition, ADHD and autism sometimes co-occur or are confused with learning disabilities. ADHD or attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, while not considered a learning disability, can certainly disrupt learning. Children with ADHD often have problems sitting still, staying focused, following instructions, staying organized, and completing homework. Autism. Children with autism spectrum disorders may have trouble communicating, reading body language, learning basic skills, making friends, and making eye contact. Going back to our let question, one of the choices is not learning disability, so we'll get rid of dyspepsia, which means indigestion. We already learned that dyscalculia is learning disability in math, while dysgraphia is a disability in writing. So the correct answer is A. Dyslexia.
Keep following us on our social media updates. Don't forget to install our app on your iOS or Android gadgets for sample actual let questions.